Bryce Harris is the MEAC Player of the Year, getting him 17 points per game. For Michigan, it's the starting lineup you would expect, including the Big Ten Player of the Year, Yaxel Lendeborg, who is a defensive force as well. But the length of Michigan, as you said, one of the tallest teams in America, one of the best defensive 5 across lines in America, including Lendeborg and Adai Mara. That's the challenge for Howard tonight.
Well, it begins and ends with this young man because of his tremendous versatility across the board. Okay, first team All-American, Big Ten Player of the Year, all defensive and all Big Ten first team. So his ability to affect the game in different areas is what makes this Michigan team one of the favorites who could eventually cut down the net come April, and having
oh goodness,
Mara come out with the lob. Oh, kind of set the tone early.
I mean, he turns the rim into a bookshelf, like he's just reaching up there for Wuthering Heights. 2-0 Michigan on an Adai Mara dunk, and he showed his passing ability in that Big Ten tournament to the stars as Cam Gillis plays it to the far side through Alex Cotton and Okoje. Here is Bryce Harris dropping it down low, and that is too strong for Okoje, who's played in a couple NCAA tournaments for this Howard team now.
He has a little bit of experience. This is a great story for this program, and shout out to Kenny Blakeney and his entire coaching staff for not only valuing winning games, but making these young men important members of their society.
That is very deep in Howard University's DNA as the ball goes out of bounds to Michigan. But I mean, this is right out of the gate.
Well, I mean, tip ball, get it back. No one for Howard. Look, you see the screen right there by Morez Johnson to get Mara open to the basket. Design play, of course, coming out of there by Dusty May.
Right to the rim, Johnson a block. Cedric Taylor gets 2 with a loud thud off the backboard. The opening 2 for Howard. And there are a couple guys in this starting lineup, Jimmy, that play more than 32 minutes per game. It won't be Sienna exactly from earlier, but it'll be like it. Mara rejected by the 10.
Yeah, but Burnett, he just led Mara a little bit too much. And that time, the ball kind of got hung around, right, the left side of the rim.
And you might have just said it, hung around. All you can do is hang around. That's what Sienna did earlier as a 16 seed and put game pressure on Duke all night long. This from the corner is no good for Howard and Okoje. It's a rebound for Taylor, who's met by Mara. Taylor had it blocked. Mara, a closeout expert.
Well, you can see the size disparity right away. And you know, one of the keys here is that going against this kind of size, you don't see it in conference. You can't duplicate it in practice. You want to play a certain style. As a coaching staff, you don't want to change how you play. But in games like this, the more possessions you give to Michigan, the more chances they're going to score and be efficient. So sometimes you may have to slow it down a little bit, control tempo, lessen the possessions, but you have to be very efficient in those less possessions as well.
Jimmy, in a banner year for offense across college basketball, some of the most efficient offenses in all of college basketball, Michigan found its footing a couple of weeks into the season when they figured out how to use the break with Mara and Elliot Cadeau and those lead passes to create instant offense.
Well, it's almost like get the ball up quickly, use your size, see if you can get something early. If you don't, you didn't bleed a lot of time off the shot clock. Get it back out, set your offense, then go to work.
Cedric Taylor on the drive. He got fleeced. Cadeau for Namari Burnett, who will spin and drive and get fouled by Alex Cotton, the junior out of Carrollton, Texas, the transfer from North Texas. But look, Michigan has the 4th best 2-point defense in the country and the 4th best 2-point offense in the country. They are nasty down low.
Well, they're holding opponents to 38% shooting. That's second best in D1. And St. Louis, who we'll see later, is right there.
Free throw no good for Burnett. America's best chefs battle it out for an unprecedented $1 million prize on America's Culinary Cup. The #1 cooking competition show. New CBS Wednesday after Survivor. and streaming on Paramount Plus. Burnett's free throw is good, and it's 5-2 Michigan with the lead. Remember, the Wolverines lost last year in the Sweet 16 to our colleague Bruce Pearl and Auburn 78-65. Couple of years ago, they missed the NCAA tournament back-to-back years, and Dusty May has them very much on the road to the Final Four. What can Howard do once they do get into the paint? You saw Gillis get dissuaded there.
Well, a lot of times play off 2 feet, be able to utilize pump fakes, knowing that the size is going to come and rotate and try to protect the rim. Can you get any kind of dribble penetration to force Michigan's defense to collapse so you can spread out and get some cleaner looks? That's going to be the challenge.
Howard is a very strong defensive team out of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, the MEAC. Here's Lendabor. It swirls down.
Usually not closing out to first team All-American on the corner at 6'9", pushing 6'10", with that size to affect the shot.
Truly one of the best players in the country. Offense, defense, Lendabor for Michigan. That ends up out of bounds. And Kenny Blakeney, season number 7. He was a great player at DeMatha for the legendary Morgan Wooten. He won a couple of titles with the Duke Blue Devils in the early 90s as well. And I mean, he's been here to the NCAA tournament a couple of times now, and we were talking to him yesterday about it, about his substitution pattern and how he will handle that sort of thing. He's like, you know, it's such a feel thing. I got to look and see who's handling Michigan and the setting best.
You can have in your mind who you're going to start with and how your rotation is going to be, but the game sometimes and the moment will dictate something totally different. So let's keep our eye on the substitution patterns by Coach Blakeney early in this game.
That jumper is smooth for Bryce Harris out of Suffolk County, Long Island, his opening 2. Hard driving kick, and it whistles over the head of Nimari Burnett. Somebody got a souvenir that was rather unexpected. There's Harris. There's a reason he gets him 17 and 7 a game.
It does. And another opportunity here. Again, as much as we're talking, it's still only 8-4. So the Bison here have another opportunity. Nice little square up jump shot. Perez Johnson. This team is to move forward and really advance. His energy, his offensive rebounding is going to be paramount for the Wolverines.
Cadeau the find. Roddy Gale for 3. The senior from Niagara Falls, just down the road, got himself an opening triple.
Well, I asked Roddy, how many people you got coming to the game? He just pointed to the opposite stands and said all of them. He said the whole section. I said, I get it, my man. Good for you.
Yeah, half an hour away, Lewiston Porter High School. He was a Lancer growing up. 22 points a game. Very early in his career as a 3 won't fall for Bryce Harris. It's down on the ground and rescued by Howard. Okoje for Harris for 2.
Nice. Well, you say, how can you score some points? Well, can you create enough turnovers to now turn a disadvantage into an advantage to be able to score before Michigan can set their defense?
Here comes Johnson for a screen to engulf Gillis. He worked through it. Lendeborg. Play it for Burnett. Off the shot fake on Cotton. He'll drop it off for Gale, who wants Burnett to take it. And that was a smart move. It's a 3 for Nimari Burnett. He's a big piece with the LJ Kaysen injury. They need his shooting.
Now that's another conversation of how much I think this team, if they can continue to get deeper in March Madness, you'll miss LJ Kaysen.
It was a torn ACL on February 27th against Illinois in Champaign. Burnett left open. He missed it, and the rebound for Gillis. We apologize to our advertisers. They'll get their break at some point. Harris watched by Cadeau. Gillis for Cotton. Tough shot off the closeout from Burnett. Howard is nearly in the top 100 in the country from three, 35%. Johnson streaking to the rim, and Morez Johnson will get 2 free throws. When we come back, Roddy Gale Jr. You can almost feel the mist all the way here in Buffalo. Niagara Falls native Roddy Gale Jr. Splash. 14-6 Michigan with the lead over Howard and Kenny Blakeney as we check in with Allie LaForce.
Well, Coach Blakeney has been a part of winning and greatness his entire career, from the high school level to his college career as a player, and now what he's building at Howard. And it's incredible to watch this bleed over to his program now. He played for DeMathis High, the winningest high school in history, and as a collegiate player played for the Duke Blue Devils under Coach K, winning a national championship. He even said Coach K stays in touch, reaches out frequently to support his program. But what he did not have success with was a potential scouting opportunity that he overlooked thanks to his Duke fandom. So back in February, Duke was taking on Michigan, and Coach attended the game to root for Coach K. Little did he know he would be playing Michigan on the biggest stage in college basketball. He told us he was just a Cameron crazy that night. He had plenty of time to cram for this matchup, but I think he probably could have pulled a few more nuggets if he was actually watching Michigan that night.
Yeah, he said, I wish I would have had a notepad. But, I mean, how about this for a day? Because they ended up playing in D.C. that day at Capital One Arena. So, 100-67 victory against NC Central at noon, right? And then Burgym, 2.5 miles. He had time for dinner, early dinner, and then go to the game. It's a good college basketball day.
It is, especially after you get that dub early. That makes it even better.
Yeah, put up a hundo.
Yeah, that's right. But I tell you what, this is a well-oiled, disciplined Bison team under Blakeney, kind of running their sets. Again, they're small, as you can see the size differential, so the offense is going to work a little differently because of that size. But good patience. The ball got to the second, third side, and Taylor able to line that up and knock it in.
Cedric Taylor is coming off a broken hand in his career. There's a turnover for Michigan. And for Dusty May, I mean, we talked to him yesterday about how you keep the underdog mentality when you have run through the Big Ten as they did. They won the Big Ten by 4 games. But he knows what it's like to be a team in Howard's position after that Final Four run in 23.
Right. And those were probably the cautionary tales that he was speaking to his team about. Not just beautiful moves, 2 really good offensive possessions. Not talking in theory to his team, telling his team what he knew, because he was a part of something very special. And I'm sure these young men donning the Michigan jerseys were listening intently.
What a hook pass by Mara. Just a beeline for Roddy Gale.
Well, I tell you what, in this region, we probably have 3 to 4 of the best passing centers in college basketball.
Yes. Robbie Avila.
We just saw
Ali
Khalifa, and now we have Mara, who can initiate the offense. 3 possessions now by Howard.
Travell Bryson has a quick 5. Yeah, we'll see Robbie Avila and St. Louis coming up in game number 4 of our night. Mara with some ballet down low.
Yeah, Harris is not too much you can do about that. Can you bury him behind the backboard? But exquisite footwork got Mara right back into position for that little jump hook there right outside the box.
How much has Adai Mara improved over the past calendar year?
Well, coming out from UCLA, you knew he had the skill set. He put on some muscle up top. Has developed even more the mindset of being a little bit more aggressive when he gets the basketball, especially inside, but always been an excellent facilitator and ball mover.
Nice screens there, nicely done by Okoje to force Mara out of the lane on the possible screen and roll. Okoje just caught one of the chops and fought for the basketball. It ends up with Michigan and through down low for Roddy Gale. Pull up 3, Cam Gillis, why not?
And Cam Gillis struggled with his shot against UMBC. 4 for 9. Well, 0 for 2 from the 3-point line, really.
Gale power dribble, easy does it. Did his work very early there, Jimmy. He's got 9, and it's quickly becoming Roddy Gale night here in Western New York.
Oh, welcome home.
Gillis, the answer.
See, now a team, they've gotten confident. So they're not pressing their offense. The ball is getting to them with some space, and they're stepping up confidently and knocking them in.
Gillis thought he got fouled by Trey McKinney going for the basketball. Mara for McKinney on the cut. And they will count that for the freshman Trey McKinney. But Cam Gillis, a former top 10 player out of DC, trying to keep him in it.
It only takes one to feel that you have the confidence to get the job done. And Cam Gillis got a little greedy, 2 for 2.
Moments ago, Allie LaForce joined by Dusty May.
Well, Coach, you're shooting over 70% from the field. You did have the 3 early turnovers. Overall, what did you like and not like about this start?
We came out of that last media timeout a little bit flat defensively. We're giving up too many catch-and-shoot threes. They're getting our big man on the perimeter, and we got to do a better job supporting him, and he's got to push up and not give up any more threes.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Alec.
49-year-old Dusty May, who's been all over the place in college basketball, an assistant at Eastern Michigan, Murray State, UAB, Louisiana Tech, Florida. He knows how important defense is to this Michigan team, Jimmy.
Well, moving forward, because it's going to be nice. Look, for them, the last 3 tournament games, only scoring 70 points a game. They had to dig into their defense a little bit more. You know, in the tournament, the team can get hot. So if you can shut the valves off early, it's better for you than having a 7-footer inside.
Dime Mara wipes it away. Cadeau catch and shoot. Missed it off the iron. Rebound McKinney. Dime Mara, who's got all of 2 threes all year, misfired on a pass for the baseline. And Dusty May knows, I mean, that is the challenge. It's the high level ability of a Dime Mara, but he makes everybody have to be ready at every moment for every angle.
Well, you got to trust that he'll make the right decision. And as he's progressed here at Michigan or there at Michigan, the trust has grown, and you've seen the ball in his hands a lot more, in particular finishing plays at the top of the key to make decisions.
Cedric Taylor got toward the rim. That was a miss for Harris. Michigan leading by 6. Number 2 16 seeds all time have won in first round action in the round of 64. Cheddar wants it. He'll play it for Gale. Got it into the corner. McKinney missed it. Rebound. Cheddar rugged. And no. Cam Gillis has made 2 threes already. The junior from Falls Church, Virginia. Howard toe-to-toe with Michigan here. Harris got the kick out. It's a 3 for Taylor. He's got 8 early. A 28% three-point shooter has knocked 2 down.
Well, and that's where Taylor and Howard has the advantage. If they're going to stick Mara onto him or even switch back, he's going to be able to stretch out and get that shot all day. And Will Cheddar not to be outdone, able to come back with a 3 of his own.
Will Cheddar has seen so much in this Michigan program. Been here through the coaching change with Dusty May from Juwan Howard. Here's Harris trying to barrel his way in, taken away, and Gale on the flip trip for Michigan. That was a nifty move. Got the kick out. It's a Cadeau triple that draws front iron, and Mara just stuffs it right back in. Easy does it at eye level. Dime Mara was 21 for 31 in the Big Ten tournament. Tremendous finisher at the rim. That's a throwaway that Gillis has to throw a life raft to. And he bags his 3rd 3 out of nowhere. That's an ad lib.
Hey, but listen, young fella has confidence. He's shooting 37% from behind the arc all year. Again, didn't shoot the 3 ball only twice against UMBC. Didn't shoot it well.
Cheddar feeling zesty early on.
I caught that. I caught that.
He's never heard it before. Michigan by 8.
I was trying to give you your love, man. Just can't accept the compliment.
You're sharp.
That's a good one.
Gillis for Harris.
Nice.
That's a three. Howard, there's no fear in the Bison.
No, but, I mean, the offense is working for him. The ball is moving. And when you do that, you have the ability to create some spots and gaps in the defense where you can get shots. You just got to step up there with confidence and let it go.
Screen and roll. Mara met at the rim. And a foul against Howard. But Bryce Harris feeling good so far.
Move the defense, create some space, let it fly.
Time for a game summary. Both teams are sizzling from the floor. 7 misses for Michigan, 11 for Howard, and Kenny Blakeney, Howard head coach, moments ago with Allie LaForce.
Well, Coach, Michigan shooting 63%. I mean, you're in this game, but how do you force them into some harder shots and some more misses?
Yeah, we just need to get back in transition and build our wall and be solid on defense. They do a great job of spreading our defense out, and we just have to be a little bit more solid, contest shots, and know where shooters are.
Offensively, what do you need to see more of, and how are you generating the looks that you want?
We just have to have better spacing and better movement on the ball, better ball movement and better man movement.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Great stuff there, Allie. And keep in mind this transition defense, okay? You can shoot a quick shot if your team knows you're going to do it because they can get back. It's the quick shots that get blocked. You're off balance. Those are the shots that compromise your defense. And that's what Kenny Blakeney is talking about, is being able to set your defense. In the last 4 or 5 possessions, 6 possessions, they have moved the ball effectively, gotten really good shots, made them, or even when they missed, they've been set back in transition.
And you combine that with only 2 turnovers all game for a Howard team that has had maybe 1 kryptonite this year. 13 turnovers a game.
Well, yeah, but Michigan is not pressing up as much, okay? So it's a matter of just making the right and sound play. Like that right there, Gillis, and you get a shot. Now you get an offensive rebound, and now you have shots at the rim.
That rebound was necessary too. It was going to be a live ball breakout for Michigan, and we have a whistle to tie a shoe. See, you were facetious earlier, but sometimes it just grinds the thing right to a halt. It's parking brake for basketball. Watch the shoelace come undone live. I mean,
that made your night, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
It really did.
It did.
I'm happy for you, Joe.
Yeah,
that's
enjoy the mundane and enjoy the fireworks. Morez Johnson Jr. right to the rack.
Well, when you're kind of outmanned a little bit from a size and depth perspective, you can't give up easy baskets. And that time, the pass to Johnson was just right over the top. And I know Coach Blakeney he wasn't happy with that defensive possession.
Well, you saw Elliot Cadeau admiring his handiwork. Passing has gotten very contagious for this Michigan team over the year. Double comes from Cadeau, and he springs it loose. It's down on the ground, and we're going to get a tie up. The possession arrow will stay with Howard. No more of a star than shoelaces, except for the possession arrow. Here's the look from Cadeau.
Look how easy that is. That's just a lob over the top. Morris Johnson, and then Cadeau kind of seeks out exactly where Cedric Taylor III is going to be on that turn. Didn't get the steal before it's a jump ball.
Tough inbound, defended by Johnson. There's that length, 2 to shoot. Just got it off. That is filthy from Bryce Harris. Boy, he was the preseason player of the year in the MEAC last year. He got hurt after 7 games. That torpedoed their season in a lot of ways. And now a little pressure on for Howard. We'll see how it works. Burnett turns it wide. Lindeborg missed the 3, and Howard got what it wanted there.
The more you can force Michigan to shoot threes, which probably is their weakest component of their offense, the better off you'll be. And that time, Morez Johnson, the size, able to take that move away from Harris.
Thornton Township High School in the south suburbs of Chicago. Johnson, the transfer from Illinois.
You think about what he's given to this team with his body of work.
Burnett, shot fake, then into it. He got it. That was nifty.
Linchpin for this Michigan team. When he's hitting shots like that, Lindeborg Johnson has freedom inside. Then you have Elliot Cadeau has will have more opportunities for driving lanes.
How about this? We're under 4 minutes in the first half. Michigan hasn't committed a foul.
I mean, one that has been called. What do you
Trying to stir it up.
I'm just saying.
Stir it up.
I'm just saying.
There it is. Two and a foul.
See?
Cedric Taylor.
Right off now.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Jason, since you said a foul hasn't been called on Michigan, not only is it a foul, it's a potential for an and one.
In the home of the Bills, a great sports city, Buffalo, New York. Our tournament summary, we almost had the upset of the tournament. The Siena Saints and Jerry McNamara 6 points short. Duke had to come back from 11 down at halftime in Greenville. Michigan State here in Buffalo, a winner over North Dakota State, basically wire to wire. And the High Point Panthers, their first ever NCAA tournament win. We'll see a former High Point assistant, Josh Schertz, for St. Louis in game number 4. The winner of this game will face the winner of St. Louis and Georgia.
Thanks for really sidestepping the TCU win and who they beat. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't want to see a grown man cry.
I wouldn't cry, but I mean, Jamie Dixon, I mean, you can't deny how well they've been playing. And for those that don't know, they beat my Ohio State Buckeyes. But that 8-9 matchup is always, you know, pick 'em.
Sure.
Oh.
Well, pickpocket there. Cadeau has to go down to the deck, and we're going to have a tie-up. It'll be Michigan basketball off the possession arrow. But again, Howard is playing aggressive defense, Jimmy.
Well, it's because they believe they can compete. At first, they were kind of thrown back a little bit, but yet, even when it felt like Michigan was really dominant, it was 8-4. But it felt like it was 20-4. But because they stayed in the game and then they started to get some offensive continuity and rhythm, now you see the defense picking up. And I like this switch to a zone defense. Now the challenge is shot goes up. The rebounding is going to be at a premium.
Trey McKinney, the freshman, who does not look like a freshman at all. A sturdy body from Flint.
Nice step back by Bryson.
And that will not fall. Game of Plinko ends with Michigan coming this way. Elliot Cadeau, whose brother played tennis at Howard, gets whacked by a Koje.
Well, against the zone, the best way to find some gaps, force the rotation, swing the basketball. And the thing is, you got to make quick decisions with the ball. Ball hopped around the corner. McKinney found an open spot, able to knock that one in. And that's the defensive, the offensive discipline you got to have. I don't care who you're playing against the zone. You just pick it apart and take your time with it. You'll find some gaps, especially when you have the size advantage.
Lendeborg scanned and found Burnett. McKinney going to work. He'll motor into the lane. He'll fade away, and he'll knock it down. Brilliant from Trey McKinney. Boy, if they're going to make a run to a third weekend here with the LJ Kaysen injury, McKinney's got to be huge for that, it feels like.
It feels like it, but he play his role, because you're going to have to dig into your bench a little bit at some point, the deeper you get in the tournament. And the better off that he can provide not only just an offensive punch, but some defense, the better off Michigan will be. There it is.
Taylor again. Yeah. Cedric Taylor III has 14 for Howard in the half. On the other end, Lendeborg off the top of the backboard. No. Gillis inviting contact from Cadeau. Howard nose to nose with Michigan in this first half. That's Bryson on the drive and probe.
I tell you what, it's amazing when you don't turn it over. The shots you can get at the rim. Oh, Cadeau's able to waltz right down the lane.
They'll get a couple of free throws. Back to Trevell Bryson here.
Oh, watch this 1-2 dribble. He's fading a little bit, but just not enough for him to get that up. And Cadeau able to split two defenders right there. Just
squealed the brakes.
Yeah, Harris and also Taylor. They were looking at each other. Well, I thought you had him. I thought you.
It's not you. It's me.
Yeah.
It's 2 on Taylor, by the way. Every bracket buster and every buzzer beater. CBS Sports HQ has your tournament highlights plus wall-to-wall coverage across the sports world. Streaming free 24/7. Mentioned Elliot Cadeau's ties to Howard. His brother Justin was a tremendous youth tennis player and then plied his trade at Howard in the Washington, D.C. area in the Northwest D.C. neighborhood. Cheddar comes back in with an 8-point lead for Michigan with a $1:25 to go in the first half, and a critical moment here for Howard, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, keep it under double digits. I mean, make a little surge here at the end of this last 1:15. Can you get another basket, cut it to 6, get you a stop? I guarantee you, Kenny Blakey and his crew will take that into halftime all day against this Michigan team.
Cheddar shot fake, got the flyby from Taylor, drop it off Burnett. He sizzles it in for 2 and a foul.
Well, the ability to shoot the ball like Cheddar opens it up for that pump fake to work. See, the pump fake, boom. Not staying disciplined. Taylor didn't. That opened it up for rotations, and Burnett able to sneak his way back door. That's just excellent offense right there. Quick hitting offense as well.
And Kenny Blakeney spun the wheel, played Taylor for the final minute here, and he just picked up his 3rd personal foul in this first half. So Cedric Taylor III with his 14 points is going to have to go to the bench. And Donis Kazakevicius, who only played 4 minutes in that game against UMBC, the freshman out of Vilnius, Lithuania, who's part of the MIAC all-rookie team, has to come in and play. We just have not had very many misses at all in this first half. It has been an offensive display for Howard and Michigan. Okoje sliding in, tried to drop off a pass, and Burnett kicked it out of bounds. It'll be Howard basketball, 9 to shoot. Not an official kick. It just ran off his knee.
Yeah, a lot of traffic to try to get that back door cut in there, but fortunately for Howard, able to retain possession. Got to be smart. 9 seconds on the clock.
Gillis tucks it in, got it back. He's met by Johnson off the screen, and he'll knock down a 3 and a foul. Enormous for Howard late in the first half.
Well, I mentioned they have to be aware it's only 9 seconds, and here confusion on whether Gillis was coming out to switch. He froze the defense, and at the last minute, Trey McKinney tries to contest, and does unthinkable. Fouls a jump shooter.
How about Harris sliding in there for a screen as well at the last moment to clear out a defender? Gillis got the free throw. Cam Gillis, a big first half. Howard made 9 threes in the entire game Tuesday night. They've got 9 in this first half, and that's out of bounds off of McKinney. Oh boy, Michigan unraveling a little bit. And the Howard fans that are in attendance, by the way, growing in number by the minute, are starting to get very loud.
All right, Michigan, 3rd most turnovers in the Big Ten, 12 per game.
We'll step aside. The MIAC has a history of pulling off first-round upsets. Watch whip-around coverage of all men's games with Fast Break, presented by AT&T and the March Madness Live app. Out of the timeout, Howard basketball, about a 9-second differential shot to game clock. Cam Gillis, steady right hand. Cheddar watching him. That pass down low, no good on the shot. Downstairs, Cheddar has it go through his hands. 6 to play. Get it to Gillis. 3 seconds. Harris, yes! Howard is within 4, and it's a party at midcourt at halftime.
I hate to say it, but I think there was a period here where it was too easy for these Michigan players to score and defend. That fueled the fire for this Bison team, and as a result, they got hot, and they believed that they could make shots, get stops. You talking about a huge lift to go into halftime, only down 7.
And now within 4 with that 3 as we check in with Allie.
Well, Roddy, in your opinion, what are some of the things that are letting Howard back in this game?
I think their three-point shooting, they got it really going from deep. I think we just got to limit the three-point attempts. They're really hot from deep right now.
Offensively, 13 assists on 17 made field goals. This team knows how to find each other. How are you generating the right looks against this Howard defense?
I think it's just our cutting. I think we were really effective cutting, especially when the guy got the ball. And Elliott, I feel like they're great playmakers. So I feel like we're just in the right place at the right time.
We'll see you in the second half. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Roddy Gale Jr., the local product, had Michigan in the lead, and they still are, but coming up on AT&T at the half. Scores and highlights, the latest NCAA tournament news. That's all coming up. AT&T at the half. We got a 4-point game. First half stats here in game number 3 of our day. Howard already has 10 threes in this first half after just about that in the game against UMBC, and that's keeping them in this thing, Jimmy.
Well, it is. Early on, there was some early turnovers which prevented Howard from getting some looks. But once they settled in, moved the basketball, moved some of that height, the 3-ball began to be the equalizer versus this size. Now, the advantage of points in the paint and getting to the free throw line is Michigan, but in that first half, 10 for 16 for Howard Bison compared to 7 for 13.
Cam Gillis had 4 of them, and he moments ago chatted with Allie.
Well, Cam, how did that run to close out the first half reignite and spark the confidence and the energy in this locker room?
Yeah, definitely. I think we, being able to cut the lead is really huge for us. And then we got to get out to a great start the second half to be, keep it close, keep the pressure on them, and just, execute what we would do. So
your offense caught fire, but Michigan's offense hasn't been missing much. How do you slow them down? How do you get them into those lower percentage shots?
Yeah, we talked about halftime. We kind of got to cut out some of the threes. I think they have like 7 threes. So we got to, run them off the line, be disciplined, stay down on shot fakes, and, hopefully get some more stops coming out in the second half.
Thanks for your insight and time.
Thank you.
Thanks to Cam Gillis for spending the time. We have a foul against Michigan on the contact on the far side. It goes against Yaxel Lendeborg, just the 3rd foul against Michigan in the game.
It is, but the challenge you have when you're a Michigan or a team that on paper should dominate is when it's easy early, you forget to do the little things. And right there, being able just to cut off the dribble drive because you think that at the rim now Morrow will be able to clean it up. Those little things end up keeping a school like Howard close to you and really making it a serious threat down the stretch of this game.
Morrow only played 10 minutes in that first half, and now he's -6 for the game when he's been on the floor. Cadeau through the trees, and he'll get fouled. Osi Okoje did not score in the first half off 23 Tuesday, Jimmy.
Hey, better late than never. Okoje right here identified where Mara was at, a little Euro step, because it was hard for Mara once he had those puppies sliding to the right to kind of shift direction really quickly.
Foul was on Okoje. That's his 2nd. Lendeborg has to run down the inbound. Cadeau lines it up for 3. That's no good. Rebound for Okoje. He's in a hurry. Okoje had it knocked away by Burnett. Nicely done. Sleight of hand.
Yep. Transition defense by Burnett. Timed up that dribble perfectly to knock it away.
The lead in peril right now until Johnson goes to work and gets 2 and a foul. That is just muscle.
Well, if I'm Dusty May, this is what I'm saying. I'm not going to a straight post up, but what I'm going to do is create some action and get my big bodies inside, and they're going to touch the ball in the paint. Because we're going to eat there all day, because what's going to happen, 1, either you're going to switch to a zone, or 2, you're going to start to double team. And when you do that, that's when those open threes on the perimeter are going to be much easier looks. Utilize that size, get some stops, and just dominate the paint.
Johnson free throw is good. I mean, this is a Michigan team that beat Gonzaga by 40.
Talk to how many at the beginning of the season 38 to 40-point games wins did Michigan have?
A whole month of it
against top tier, top 25 teams.
10-second violation caused by Michigan's length.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, is that This is no fluke that this Michigan team is where they are. I mean, are where they are. And I love the pressure defense because what this does, it forces, Dusty May forces your players to get in the mindset of being aggressive.
Why does that matter so much?
Because against this team, you lull yourself to sleep because things come too easy. When you press, it takes effort and energy. Now, the focus and concentration, attention to detail is on point on both ends of the court.
5 in a row quickly for Michigan, over the top that time, and now they'll chase and play tag with Gillis. He's in real trouble, and he gets it across for Okoje. Cotton with 3 fouls, doesn't care. He got the catapult out, and you know it, Howard's within 4 again. Mara, Cadeau, Burnett, just like that for 3. Taylor's got 3 fouls. He lost control, and we have out of bounds. Mara was on the end line as he put his hand on the basketball. We'll call an answer here.
Excellent job of breaking the press. Get the ball to the middle. Now you get like 3-on-2 on the backside. Cotton, despite the long arms, Mara able to get it up, and Burnett, just like shooting practice, wide open.
A timeout. Just good luck.
Throw him between his legs.
He did that against Purdue.
It was smart.
He did that himself. He knows it's coming. Harris trying to back in.
Oh, hold on.
Was that a goaltend? Let's see. The officials didn't say it was. Barat Ramnanan with the call of the foul, and now the other 2 officials, Tommy Morrissey and Michael Irving, will come in.
They say it was going up.
They're going to say that is not basket interference, and it's 2 free throws coming.
But Bryce Harris has the bulk on Burnett right there, and he got it up.
So Bryce Harris to the foul line. Makes it a 6-point game. It's round 1, but you've been putting in the work for your team all season. Celebrate making it to the tournament with an ice cold
Coke. Cola.
You were made for that. Wheelhouse. Harris misses. Michigan the rebound.
Way to set me up, partner. Way to pass it over there.
I'm here for you.
I know.
We're trying to stay hydrated, so is BA. Cadeau harassed to give it up. Knocked out of the hand of Johnson by Taylor. Very willing to put his hand in there with 3 fouls. Cadeau 8 to shoot. Turns on the turbo jets. Drive and kick to the corner. Johnson. Yes, sir.
So many weapons this Michigan team has.
And Cadeau all over, draped all over Taylor. But you said it about the weapons here for Michigan.
I mean, keep the game simple. You got Johnson that can step out. You just got to put that pass on time, on target. Cadeau orchestrating this offense.
Okoje over Mara. Oh, man. Bring it on, he says.
Well, you know Mara doesn't want to come out and guard him. So that little step back froze him. Showing off the nice touch from 15 feet.
Gillis trying to put the handcuffs on Cadeau. He stands in front of him. Cadeau trying to wrestle his way free, and we're going to get a foul on Cotton, and that is his 4th.
I thought it was a really good trap, but they may have called that.
Oh, they're going to get Gillis instead of Cotton, and that's good news for Howard.
I mean, that's an aggressive trap, because you know why? It forced Cadeau to pick up his dribble.
Wow, they gave it to Gillis. It did look like it was Cotton with the foul-related contact.
Yeah, but it may have been Gillis on the inside. I thought Cotton got out. So good for Howard that Cotton didn't pick up his 4th.
He even thought it was his foul.
No, he did.
Johnson trying to drag into the lane, and he scores. played for Ty Streets in high school, a former Michigan wide receiver, great football player at Thornton Township. Morez Johnson Jr. Okoje hard into the lane, and he'll get 2 free throws. I mean, he just excavated. Foul on Lendeborg is his second personal. You can see he may not love it. Foul call as Okoje, a 61.5% free throw shooter, off a career high 3 threes on Tuesday in Dayton. That's good. Bleacher Report is your one-stop destination for March Madness. Get every moment all tournament long with personalized updates and highlights from your favorite teams. Download the BR app now.
Well, Okoje riding the confidence momentum out of the tournament. The win, to be able to bring that forward to a bigger platform, bigger stage. The intangible about believing in yourself and having that confidence carries a lot of weight, my man.
A former valedictorian in school prior to coming here to Howard from Brampton, Ontario, Okoje. And we're going to get a foul as they heat up Lendeborg. That's going to be 3 on Okoje, it looks like. It is his third personal. That's 3 with 3 fouls for Howard, but the Bison hanging around here in Buffalo. Would be a stunning comeback. Jamie, thank you very much. Again, VCU had one of its best moments ever in this very building, 2007, when Eric Maynard beat Duke on the other hoop as Morez Johnson Jr. goes after that basket easily.
Design play coming out the timeout to get Johnson. Little post-up position, 2-man game with Lendeborg. Paid off.
That's caught. Gillis put it in.
Well, you know what? That play opens up because the Bison able to hit those threes, kept the defense spread, so that backdoor cut is made available because of the success of shooting the ball from deep.
They got 11 of them already, 10 of them in the first half. Cadeau triggers and buries it. Elliot Cadeau for 3. His first made field goal tonight. And a rare Michigan foul in the ball game, just their 4th.
Well, the discipline by Howard here to be able to spread the offense, more importantly the defense, by cutting. A beautiful pass leading Gillis to the basket. You know, all that is set up because of success behind the three-point line.
That was our Built Better moment presented by Body Armor. And now the 5th foul against Michigan in this half. They only had 2 in the first half total.
But I tell you this, when the last foul that got picked up, I think Okoje or over here on the wing over here, which was a kind of a touchy foul. Coach Blakely had some words for the officials talking about the foul disparity. Now, notice I'm not saying that they're playing favoritism or anything, but a couple of the last fouls have gone for Howard.
And that's what a coach would do on the
exactly.
sideline. It's a tale as old as time, certainly. McKinney ball fake. McKinney on the drive. And he'll play it back out for Lendeborg, who's been pretty quiet here. 5 in the first half for Yaxel Lendeborg. All-American Big Ten Player of the Year, and that's whistled out of bounds for a Michigan turnover, number 7. A little cavalier with the basketball, the Wolverines at points tonight.
And Howard has been really good at kind of benefiting and making the Wolverines kind of pay when they have been nonchalant with the basketball. I tell you, he's been quiet as Yaxel Lendeborg here. Now listen, he's not a high volume, heavy shooter. Kind of does a little bit of everything, but when you're Big Ten Player of the Year, first team All-American, your presence has to be felt. I'd like to see him be more aggressive offensively.
Lendeborg What's that? Huh?
Just call me Nostradamus, okay?
I'm happy to. Off the air. Oh boy. Coach A just shucked Cadeau and no whistle.
Yeah, but that came from, I think, Coach Blackley kind of working the officials a little bit. Hey, listen, this is a more physical Michigan team, and you're calling the chippy fouls on us? Watch this. Oh, yeah. Well, it's a little acting too, but it is contact. He could have called it right there as well. But ultimately, here's the call. Great playing off 2 feet. Bryce Harris to get Lindenborg up top.
That's 3 very quick fouls on Roddy Gale Jr. all in this half, as the free throw is no good for Harris, usually an outstanding foul shooter.
Yep, shoots at a 78%. But just hanging around. You know how dangerous these games get. You get under the 10-minute mark, 8-minute mark, it's a 4-possession game, 3-possession game, and the pressure is always on the team that is supposed to win.
I mean, just ask Iowa State in 2001 against Hampton out of the MEAC. Just ask South Carolina against Coppin State in 1997 in Pittsburgh out of the MEAC. Norfolk State did it in 2012. It's an 11-point game, but there's still some game pressure building on Michigan from the Howard Bison here in Buffalo.
Welcome back. Michigan up 11, and this is a reminder they're doing it without their spark off the bench. LJ Kaysen, the sophomore guard, tore his ACL in late February. Then after consulting with friends, family, doctors, opted to postpone the surgery so he could be here with the team during the tournament run. He's been coaching in the huddles. He's been very vocal. I mean, he was averaging 8 points, 2 assists per game. Even more impressive, he had scored in double figures in 4 of the 5 games prior to the Illinois game. Coach May has used it as a challenge. He said publicly, our second unit has not been as good since he went out, and it's an opportunity for them to step up and show that they can have a spark without Kaysen on the floor.
And what he's gotten, Allie, from that second line as Johnson dunks it there is 6 from Cheddar, 9 from Gale, 7 from Trey McKinney, who's on the floor right now.
And what?
Oh my, what a tough pass. Lindenborg corrals it, and he'll get 2 free throws.
Well, Elliot Cadeau knew Lindenborg was going to have the advantage. He just waited to the right moment to get him. He's looking the whole time. Okay, he throws it up. But losing Kaysen, this is what happens. It manipulates your rotation, okay? You had a rotation that you were using through the course of the year until he got hurt. He's a big guard at 6'2", can defend multiple positions, shoots the lights out the ball, so you lose a ball handler, a 3-point shooter at 40%, a heck of a defender, and a competitor.
And you also load up to all that. You load up more minutes on the other guards too. There are fewer minutes, minutes to disperse.
Well, and also too the role that he played was so critical, for the squad, and that's not taking anything away from the other role players that come in off the bench. But his is a little bit different, and he had a little bit of a different feel for the game and approach to the game. Is a reason why you talk about being missed.
Gale sticks the landing for 3, and Michigan's opened up an 18-point lead.
And you won't see it in a game like this where the size just dominates missing a case. And so everybody's able to get into the party once again. Roddy able to come home, feel good about himself. But Howard just been fighting a way to keep this game within shouting distance.
Michigan by 18, 77-59. This is a team that opened 14-0, 25-1. They're 31-3 on the year, and Howard provided some resistance for a long while to this point, but Michigan has opened up a 12-1 run.
Mindset-wise, second half, 20-8 paint points favoring guess who?
Michigan.
Okay, so what do you think the conversation was at halftime on what the game plan was going to be in the second half for the Wolverines?
Use the size. Although Howard's had 3 chances. Gale says no, sir. Michigan has missed all of 2 shots in the half. Cadeau got it far side. McKinney a miss. Gillis against Cheddar. Little ball fake. Taylor. Nice. Oh, that's filthy.
Yeah,
don't do it to him.
But he knows Mara is going to bite on that little pump fake. He doesn't want to get beat off the dribble, which is going to provide clearance to get that 3-point shot once again.
2 years at Morehouse for the Maroon Tigers down there in Atlanta, as Gale was just trying to give a thrill to his friends and family here. From Niagara Falls, if you missed it earlier, Roddy Gale Jr. from Lewiston Porter High School. That at the rim is not going to go down, and it's out of bounds to Michigan. The long arm of the law affecting play again. And we will step aside. Not a whole lot of vision when Adai Mara is in the way. That's his. Thanks. What a fascinating game that has been. And then Fran McCaffrey versus Illinois in the late game down there. TJ Power put up 44 in the Ivy League title game. Fran's got some players.
Yeah, and Fran understands Coach Underwood, his philosophy, how Illinois loves to play. Fran being back at his alma mater.
That sweater looks right on Fran McCaffrey. There's a knock away by a Koje, and it's out of bounds off a Cheddar. A Michigan turnover, number 8.
Good hands that time by Koje. Still fighting, getting in here. Can you cut this lead down? A lot of times left down 15. We've seen that the Bison can score in bunches when they get stops.
Down to 8 to shoot. It's Taylor. Head and shoulder fake. Down the lane for 2.
Yeah, you occupy Mara now. The lane becomes a bit clearer. That time Taylor, third, able to get right to the basket. Get this down to a 13-point lead.
He's playing with 3 fouls. Such a big piece of this team. 19 points for Cedric Taylor. Mara baseline spin, step through, and it was a gentle dunk.
Gentle giant. Is that what you're saying? Harris, trailer.
Missed it for 3, and Zaragoza native Adai Mara the rebound. The Spaniard for the Michigan Wolverines. The transfer from UCLA wants it. He's got it, and he's fouled. That's Taylor there. That's his 4th.
Well, down on the block, Bryce Harris. Okay, I'm gonna get lower. I can get my base. You're not gonna back me in, but then height just takes over and ends up winning. Excellent footwork, and the thing about it, Mara didn't bury himself too deep on the baseline, so when he did spin, you wouldn't be trapped behind the backboard.
Free throw good. Take a look at advanced stats presented by Invesco QQQ. 3-headed monster for Michigan. Half of the rebounds, half of the points or so, and 8.5 out of 10 blocks for those 3 guys. For the Michigan Wolverines, as Mara knocks down both.
And Lindenborg only 2 for 44 shot attempts. Now he got a couple more because he had free throws. He won't get counted as field goal attempts, but he didn't really have to be as aggressive. But I'm thinking to myself, I would love for him to have some real positive possessions ending this contest, because it's going to be a dogfight on Saturday if they are to prevail versus that tough Louisville team.
O.C. Okoje to the free throw line. We'll see Georgia St. Louis coming up in our finale as Okoje hits the free throw. SLU is on the way, and Robbie Avila, one of the best passers in the country.
Nope, Chamberlain.
Slew Alcindor, if you will.
Steph Blurry. Oh, man.
He has the best list of nicknames. In college
Slew
basketball.
Alcindor.
Slew Alcindor. Rebound for Adai Mara.
I like Milt Chamberlain,
I do
man.
too.
That is classic, bro. Okay, little zone defense here. Just provided some coverage for Howard in the first half. Again, the challenge is the rebounding.
Kenny spins baseline, turns it back. Lindeborg wants it. Lindeborg driving Gillis. He'll lob it. Oh, that's easy. When you see the skyscraper up there from 30,000 feet, you just drop it down.
Yeah, that's a video game right there. No fair. Uh-oh.
In the backcourt, and it's over and back.
Yeah.
Not touched by Michigan.
Yeah, well, Gillis didn't argue that. He half kind of made it that. Lindeborg able to get by. Smaller Gillis throw it up. And no matter what happened there, just throw it at the rim, and Marek it's on his tippy toes.
You know, Yaxel Lindeborg had a story in the Players Tribune. He was talking about how his mom, without telling him, got him into this basketball camp to really invigorate his love for the game. You don't have to learn that in the camp. Mara is just a wizard. Michigan by 20. Howard was within 4 at the break, and Mara will claim that as his. Lindeborg has Burnett with him. He'll drive it and miss, and the rebound hauled in by a Koje.
Koje able to get back. Gillis up underneath. Got numbers. Oh,
Gillis had a notion for 3. Instead, the mid-range, no dice. Michigan 30 of 44 from the floor. When you're shooting from an inch away and 7'3" above the ground, you're not going to miss a whole lot.
well, the 0-footer is unmatched.
Our game summary has Michigan up by 22. Morez Johnson Jr. hasn't missed from the floor. He's got 20 points. Michigan very aggressive in the paint, as you said, in the second half. 40 total points in the paint. And the fouls have climbed for Michigan after committing just 2 in the first half. But Michigan by 22, Jimmy. And again, Dusty May, it seems as though, went into the locker room and said, you guys, use the height that you have. Some version of that looks like what led to the output.
Yeah, no matter what happens in this game, Dusty May and his staff are not going to be completely satisfied and happy with the performance, albeit dominant later, of this Michigan team by some of the unforced turnovers, lack of discipline on the defensive end, understanding that you're not going to be able to get away with that if you win this game against their next opponent.
Whether it be Georgia or St. Louis,
Yep.
we'll find out later on. Mara out there against Cotton, looking for some room and some space. He tried to create it, and he didn't draw iron. That is the challenge of being on Adai Mara Island. You don't need Jeff Probst to stop your torch.
It's already dark here, but if it was sunny outside, he would darn sure block the sun. I can tell you that. Wow.
I mean, you just throw it
Just
up to
haul.
the rim.
Just haul.
Yeah.
But I love his skill set, and I love how he's grown, and he took the leap and challenge of leaving UCLA where he was comfortable and went to Michigan, and his game has continued to blossom, and he's been such a huge asset.
Howard crowd didn't like that contact. The Koje misses, and it's collected by Lindeborg for Michigan. Moving down to 6 minutes to play in this game as Mara has to go collect it, up by 24 for the Wolverines. He arches his back, spinning to the rim. Oh, man. That's just a disaster waiting to happen.
No, he took that personal. That one was a little more personal on that spin move, and Harris did all he could do to try to keep Mara from getting his body as close to the lane, but there's only so much you can do.
Now when he decides it's his choice, Gillis with 5, lets it rip. That's an air ball. Follow, no. Rebound, Mara. Oh, the hit ahead is a touchdown. Josh Allen would be proud.
I knew you were going there. I knew you were going there. I knew it. I knew it.
It looked like Josh. I mean, you can't put it on the numbers any better than he just did.
But I didn't like the rotation on the ball. Josh Allen throws a better ball.
Oh, save it. Narrate this dunk.
I don't have to. They let that thing breathe, but here you go. Wes Unseld. There you go. Outlet pass at its best. I gave you a backdrop on how much money he's making to do all of these shows. Marshalls, Yellowstone, Wind River. Can I keep going?
Yeah, sure. Do the whole IMDb page.
No, I'm done.
By the way, if you're hearing the crowd react, it's because we've got a live look in on the video board at that VCU North Carolina game. And the crowd is watching as VCU runs out the clock
in overtime to knock off North Carolina. I feel sorry for my man, good friend Hubert Davis, because they're going to be the Carolina faithful after this loss. I don't care if you lose Caleb Wilson or not. They're going to be calling for all kind of changes.
That's a fan that missed the flight to Greenville. It's gate A15, not A13.
There you go. And it left at 9-10, not 10-10.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's all screwed up.
I love random jerseys at games. Here's Morez Johnson to the free throw line. Michigan has put up 93 with 5 minutes left. Watch every men's game live on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Download now to stay up to date on all the action. Oh, how about this? Maybe getting ready for Jake Wilkins for game 2.
How about that?
Dominique's son playing for the Georgia Bulldogs. The Human highlight sequel coming up for Mike White in game number 4. There's one of Jimmy's friends.
One of my friends. He gonna have some nice drinks tonight, buddy. To offset that loss today, buddy. I can tell you that. He probably already hit the bar a couple times.
Well, I don't know about that. Rebound down to the ground, hit ahead, and a Bryce Harris run out that he'll remember for a long while.
Yep.
5th year at Howard for Harris. He has been through a couple of NCAA tournaments. They were in the first 4 2 years ago playing Wagner, and we'll see a member of that Wagner team later on in the tournament, Melvin Council Jr., now playing for the Kansas Jayhawks and really steering their ship.
Yeah, he's been an equalizer for that Kansas team.
Now Roddy Gale is really just doing this for his
playing, Roddy. I mean, I know you back home, Roddy. That's what he's doing. But he's played solid all game. I mean, you know, the tendency would be to try to do a little bit too much, but he didn't do that from the beginning. Stayed solid. Stepped out of.
That's an out of bounds. Yep. Michael Irving had the call on the end line on a Kojay. And for Kenny Blakeney, who Ali said earlier, as a Duke alum, he was watching Michigan in person in Washington, D.C. They also played Duke earlier this year, the Blue Devils, and Howard took the loss in that game, one of their 10 losses, but they are winners of 9 in a row entering this game tonight. Burnett lost it on the way through and claimed by Howard. Gillis looking left and then back right, and it's pinned by McKinney on Bryce Harris. What a defensive play. And Burnett on the tic-tac-toe to finish.
And Michigan 2 points away from their 9th 100-point-plus game this season. It tells you how potent this offense has been.
That's a late 17-2 run for Michigan. Their losses, by the way, are by a total of 16 points. As that goes down, and Howard's Harris isn't done for the night. Well, after that whistle, we will get our final scheduled timeout. Michigan by 28, but Howard staying alive here.
And staying alive, but that defense to offense has been a beauty to watch here this evening by the Wolverines.
Jamie, thank you. When Elliot Cadeau finds out about that, we'll see what his reaction is, his former school. As Michigan has the ball up by 28, but what a comeback for VCU tonight to pull off an upset as an 11 seed over North Carolina. Oscar Goodman is checked in. Will Cheddar is going to fire in the rebound for Gillis. Cam Gillis on the drive, and he will end up with his back turned and to the free throw line. Well, for Michigan, there were questions coming into this tournament, as we mentioned, about LJ Kaysen and what his loss would mean to the Wolverines. And in a blowout victory, you don't learn a whole lot in that department, but you would imagine either Georgia or St. Louis would put a little stress on your backcourt.
You imagine right. I mean, because both teams possess a backcourt that can play, make, and score. You play with pace and a certain physicality. So, you know, it's, you know, one of those things you're not going to break down this tape if you're Dusty May, except maybe some examples when concentration was lost. Really going to concentrate on the next opponent, but re-emphasize the little things that Michigan must continue to do to advance, which is not turn the ball over, be connected defensively, communicate at a higher rate, and utilize the paint to their advantage versus their opponents.
Oscar Goodman, we're checked in. Also in for Michigan, Malik Cordell, as this will be on the sideline, and we get a whistle from Tommy Morrissey. Morez Johnson Jr., 21 points, 8 for 8 from the floor, 10 rebounds. He would be, and he's going to be, he's sitting on the bench, those numbers won't change, the 5th guy ever in the NCAA tournament to go 20 and 10 and be perfect from the floor. DeJuan Blair from Pitt as a 1 seed 17 years ago was the last player to do it. Marvin Barnes was first.
Bad news, Marvin Barnes.
That's a whale of a player there, Marvin Barnes.
And he earned that nickname very well too.
Mm-hmm.
That's back when fighting in the league was really fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Big East basketball.
In the NBA too. But Marvin was in the NBA. A lot of stories from old heads, from vets that played back then about Marvin Barnes.
We got under 2 minutes. You want to share?
Nope.
Okay. Michigan basketball trying to get to 100. McKinney out of the double for Cordell. It's Cheddar. He's alone. Cordell tips it to himself and lost it out of bounds.
Michigan just keep coming with size, man.
I know.
I mean, these trees at, man.
He's 7'2",
right?
Out of Oberhausen, Germany, Malik Cordell.
Nice head of lettuce up top. Make him 7'3", maybe.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Howard did everything it could tonight. It was a 4-point game at halftime. Cordell dissuaded that shot, and he's going to get called for the foul. Standing over top of Bryce Harris. This Howard team, again, it was a banner day on Tuesday for this university in Washington, D.C. Their first ever NCAA tournament victory. And you know how it is coming out of the first four. We talked to Kenny Blakeney yesterday. He's like, I don't really know what day it is. You know, Saturday they win the MEAC championship. They stayed in the Norfolk area to watch the selection show, and then they immediately got on a plane. So that, you know, they're like doing laundry in the Tidewater area after the MEAC championship. They go immediately to Dayton, a gutty win over UMBC on Tuesday night, and they showed as well as you could ever ask for a 16 seed against Michigan in that first half. I know Siena had a lead on Duke at halftime tonight earlier, but this was a game performance from the Howard Bison.
And you can't underestimate, as Coach Blakeney and Harris share, I mean, that's a deep hug right there, but appreciation on both sides. But listen, the emotion, the emotional swing. You win your conference tournament, you get to Dayton, you do something special. That emotion that you have, now you got to self-contain it and get ready to turn around and play this Michigan team. It's extremely difficult to go through that. But I tell you what, if you ask Coach Blakeney and these players, they wouldn't have it any other way.
No, I mean that hug on the sideline is what all of this is for, as Dusty May uses a timeout to get some substitutions in for both teams, including Howard Isley Jr. for his own team. But I mean,
it's bigger than basketball, man.
Yeah, he spent 5 years at Howard and helped build this program into a dynasty in the MEAC.
Well, but, you know, when coaches used to talk about, or they still talk about, their responsibility to build better men, that's what you see right there with Coach Blakeney. You know, having them involved in social justice and programs outside of basketball not only speaks volumes, but backs up his words when he talks about these young men when they leave Howard University being better young men.
McKenny, a battering ram there. Yeah, it's, you know, the NCAA tournament, if you have even one moment, you carry that with you for the rest of your life. But the point of this is to then propel that moment into whatever you do for the rest of your time on this planet. McKenny at the foul line, and his free throw is good. Game 4 tonight. Georgia and St. Louis will be here about a half an hour after this one comes to a close for the Michigan Wolverines, who were champions back in 1989 at the Kingdome in Seattle. They're hoping that they can finish in just about the same spot this year, as Isaiah Brown has checked in, among others, for the Howard Bison in this final possession. It's Brown. And Powell getting into the lane. B.J. Powell for Howard. And a throwaway for Michigan. One last chance to knock down a shot for Howard. And Dusty May is going to have a conversation or two about the turnover number.
Yep. I mean, he's going to point to something, just like we talked to, you know, when Ali asked Coach Tom Izzo, you know, what are you going to nitpick at? You know, but those are real things that come back to haunt you against better teams. You know what I mean?
Cordell got the block. Here is Howard Isley Jr. The Michigan fans want him to shoot. He's not going to. Michigan will take its victory 101-80 to move to round number 2 here in Buffalo to take on either Georgia or St. Louis.
You know, dominant performance, but you know, we gave the kudos like we should to Howard for the game they put on. But eventually knew that the height, dominance, strength, power, athleticism of Michigan was going to take over.
And that is what happened. Morez Johnson Jr., 21 points, 10 rebounds, perfect from the floor.
And it's hard to, a lot of people search for perfection. It's hard to get to it. Well, on this particular evening, Morez Johnson Jr. did it. He achieved it. The ability to use his height, make shots. Again, around the basket is one thing, but he got himself to the line. Was able to take care of that. I just love, you need a player like that who just has a motor that just doesn't quit. You know, and you can stick him in any situation, have him guard any player, and you feel confident that he'll come out the dominant one.
His reaction to his return to Illinois was really impressive. You talk about stoic. It's not that he didn't care about the Illini fans, and they had a lot of words for him, Morez Johnson Jr., but he was just kind of like been there, done that. And he acts like that in the way that he goes about his business on the floor. And a perfect night, 8 for 8, and here comes the entirety of the Michigan Wolverines to talk to Allie LaForce. Pick one, Allie.
He's cracking me up. You guys, congratulations on this win. I mean, there were moments that it felt like this team couldn't win it. In fact, in the second half, you guys made 17 of your 20 shot attempts, but this one was literally perfect, 8 for 8. Can you believe that performance? It was absolutely incredible. Has anyone ever called you Mr. Perfect before?
Nah, man, we played horrible in the first half, so we was bound to come out and play good in the second half.
What was the difference at halftime? What was the message to the team? Because it did look like a totally different basketball team.
We had to come out playing hard. I don't feel like everybody came out playing hard in the first half. In the second, at halftime, we talked about it. We came out and did what we talked about in the locker room. We came out and played hard.
All right, one down, minute to go. Congratulations.
Sir, thank you.
Morez Johnson Jr. and Michigan get the victory with 101-80. Tournament games continue on TNT, TBS, True TV. Coming up on CBS, St. Louis, Georgia. We'll send you to our studio, Capital One Tournament Central, after these messages.